What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're having yourselves a great weekend, getting ourselves prepared for free agency tampering period to begin tomorrow. Technically starts on Wednesday, 4 o'clock, but we're going to see all kinds of moves being talked about. Now, you have to be careful with that because obviously you have to wait till Wednesday to see it set in stone, but we're going through it all, getting ourselves prepared. Hopefully you caught all the videos, went through all of the offense, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, offensive line. Yesterday, went through the defensive line. Now today, it's going to be linebackers, cornerbacks, and safeties dropped. And then tomorrow morning, I'll have special teams for you, have you all prepared, ready to rock and roll for this free agency. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. These are not live videos, but I would love to hear down below who your top 5, top 10, top 3, whatever it may be. Love to hear your thoughts on this, but we got an important one today. We're talking about the linebackers. We'll go through a full list. So whether you're an Eagles fan or not, you'll get some information here. Then we'll go on. We'll talk about the Eagles' current linebacker situation, who's under contract, who the free agents are, and then, of course, the top 5 free agent targets at linebacker. So without further ado, let's jump right into this. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you are having a great weekend again, but let's go, baby. Started off with this full list here, and there are some really, really nice names on this list. So I think Matt Milano was just signed right before I was about to come on for this video. Did not take him off the list, but let's start this off first. I'm going to start doing these first so you understand restricted free agents. If someone tries to re-sign them, their team right there can also match that offer. If not, then the other team that is signing them has to give them some kind of compensation based off of their accrued seasons, their position, all that stuff. But you talk about this, these restricted guys, they have over 3 accrued seasons. The guys that are exclusive rights free agents have under 3 accrued seasons, and they essentially sign for that minimum contract with their team, or they pretty much don't play for anybody. So most of those exclusive rights guys on the right there, you will see back with their teams unless they just really don't like them. But you see, that's the list there. Now let's get into the actual unrestricted free agents who can sign with anybody no matter what. And I've got 3 pages jammed with names here. Got them all in as much as I could, but you've got some good ones here. And obviously, we got the Eagles, TJ Edwards and Kaiser White on here, but got a lot of starting caliber guys. Azeez Al-Shaair. I mean, all of these guys starting caliber, but some nice ones that stick out. Tremaine Edwards or Edmonds. I don't know why it says that there. Eric Kendricks, Corey Littleton, David Long. I mean, a lot of names here. Bobby Wagner, obviously standing out here. Robert Spillane, Landon Roberts. There are a plethora of names here. Again, I don't know why this says Tremaine Edwards. It's Tremaine Edmonds, which we will talk about here shortly. But you see another page of, look, some guys that not necessarily starting material. Some of them are, but a lot of depth could be brought here. Got guys that have been great starters before in Quan Alexander and Anthony Barr. You've got guys that just were starting last year in Caden Ellis. So Traven Howard, maybe those guys given an opportunity. EJ Speed. Look, a lot of options there, and the Eagles definitely could be looking. Don't know who your team is, whoever, but as an Eagles fan, linebacker is an intriguing position, which we'll talk about here, but there are definitely a plethora of names here to choose from, and you see the final list here, more of the bottom tier guys, but look, if you're looking for some depth here, you can definitely find it, but you just saw, how many names there are here, so if you're looking for a free agent linebacker, you could definitely find it in this class. But as an Eagles fan, we're definitely going to be keeping our eyes on this position. So let's take a look at the current situation. And the reason I'm not panicking like a lot of the media is due to the fact that we have Nakobe Dean. So we drafted him for a reason last year. And we talked about this with TJ Edwards and Kaiser White. I don't believe both of them will be back. Now, they both had pretty damn good seasons, at times had struggles, but were one of the best duos in the league when it came to linebackers. So a great season for them, but I don't think that both of them come back. And I believe you try to bring back TJ Edwards, but for me, that's because Nakobe Dean can play the position that Kaiser White did. So as much as I love Kaiser White, and look, he had his issues at the end of the season at times, but I thought he had a great year. Really loved what he was able to bring to the table here, but you drafted Nakobe Dean for a reason. So I really think you could see that kid stepping it up this year. You've got depth pieces in Sean Bradley. Christian Ellis really stepped it up, was able to make the active roster last year. And we just saw his brother, Caden Ellis, a free agent out there. So those kids stepping it up. Their younger brother, Noah Ellis, was a nose tackle for us last year who got hurt. You saw yesterday. He will have an opportunity this summer. But Davian Taylor, a practice squad guy, can he finally try to step it up, be a depth piece for this team? But either way, think you have to have your eye on linebacker. And during the draft, there are definitely some linebackers I like, but you can also look in-house here. Nakobe Dean stepping up, bring back TJ Edwards, and you feel pretty good. Then maybe you just draft somebody in the mid rounds, or you add one of these free agent guys, and well, you're sitting pretty. Now, if you plan on losing these guys, or they get money, or Arizona, Gannon wants to take them on, or you see Cleveland with Jim Schwartz trying to take some of these guys, whatever it may be, he's not going to try to take TJ Edwards or Kaiser White. But regardless of that, I think that you're looking at these teams and you're looking at all the holes, right? That's how I break this all down. And look, linebacker, holy crap, a lot of teams are losing their backs. So you have a chance to add some starting caliber guys if you lose your own. So let's take a look at the top 5 free agent targets for the Eagles that you could pair with Nakobe Dean and Jermaine Pratt, somebody that I think for me, he's a guy that obviously, didn't exactly, jump off the chart here, but I remember when he was drafted in 2019, we talked about Jermaine Pratt and why I really liked his game, 3rd-round pick. You remember that year, they loaded up. They got Logan Wilson too, and I was pretty pissed because, well, we did not take a linebacker. But regardless of that, this dude, I thought last year he had 15 starts, did pretty well. He didn't, the stats, again, not jumping off the chart, but what did was he had 10 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. The dude can definitely cover, and he had 99 combined tackles, had a quarterback hit and a sack, but, not rushing him too much. But I think that Sean Desai could definitely have some fun with this young man, and I think pairing him now, he kind of plays a little bit of what Nakobe Dean does, but I think regardless, you have versatile linebackers that can, play well. And Sean Desai, the way he's going to use them, I don't think that matters at all. So I would definitely look into Jermaine Pratt, see what it would cost you. Now, up next, number 4, Quincy Williams. Now, I got a little bone to pick for his late hit on Jalen Hurts, but we'll try to look past that. And, he's got a great story here. And I think, getting traded from Jacksonville, he really didn't look like he was going to pan out, but started 15 games last year. Thought he did pretty well here. Now, he doesn't have those stats that are jumping off the chart at you, but he had 3 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. He gets around to the ball, though, man. 106 tackles in those 15 games. Started each one of them. No interceptions, but he had a pass deflection. So not exactly, your coverage kind of guy, but you add him into this room, and I think, hey, I'm going to feel a little bit more comfortable about losing one of those other guys. And keep that in mind, that talking about this as if you were to lose a couple of those guys. Now, up next, Bobby Okereke. And he stepped in really well when Leonard Floyd got hurt, or not Leonard Floyd, Jesus. Dude in the middle there, can't think of his name. It's Shaquille Leonard, but he changed it, right? Whatever. So anyways, you got Bobby Okereke who stepped in out of Stanford, and this kid, I think he's going to have a market calling for him. He really stepped in last year and did well. Played in 17, had 16 starts last year, 5 passes deflected, 2 forced fumbles. It didn't have any sacks, but he had 151 tackles. And he's not really a guy that you're sending after the quarterback, but I think he would be a perfect fit in here. If you're going to lose one of those guys, you've got a younger guy in Bobby Okereke here who I think would fit in just fine. And the familiarity with Nick Sirianni, maybe he brings him in. Now, number 2 on the list, we're getting the name right here, Tremaine Edmonds, 6'5", 250 pounds, 5 years in the league, 24 years old, out of Virginia Tech. He was a first-round pick by the Bills in 2018. And this kid, I really, really like what this kid brings to the table. Now, he didn't exactly pan out to what they thought at first. It has taken him some time to develop. I will say that. But played in 13 games, started in those 13 games last year, had an interception, had 7 passes deflected last year, had 1 sack and 102 tackles. But look, this dude, I think in the right system, he is a beast. You pair him with Nakobe Dean, and I would be a happy young man, 6'5", 250. This dude, he gets around to the ball, getting better in coverage. And I think in this system, he could definitely have a good time here. So that would definitely be someone I'd be keeping my eye on. All those guys, I definitely would. And there's some other ones in there in that list. I mean, there is a plethora of names: David Long, Eric Kendrick, so many, but wanted to stick with 5-year. And let's take a look at number one. Now, I know that this dude, this is going to be, the media and the fans' favorite because, well, he's a big name, but Bobby freaking Wagner, man. This dude is a stud. And 6 foot, 242. At the age of 32, he has still got it, man. Saw him last year. I thought that he did incredible. And we talked about him before he signed with the Rams last year. And, obviously we did fine there, but I would have really not minded bringing him in then. And he's a guy that you can move all over the place, and he can be your middle linebacker while Nakobe Dean does his thing. And he started every game last year, had a couple interceptions, had 5 passes deflected there. I think, obviously 6 sacks, 140 tackles, 10 tackles for a loss, 10 quarterback hits. This dude obviously still has a lot left in the tank. So Bobby Wagner for me would be the number one addition. Adding a leader like that to this defense, man, I think that would be fantastic. And again, I know his age. I know that he's just another name, but I'm telling you, adding Bobby Wagner here would be insane. And if you're going to lose TJ Edwards there in the middle, well, I'd feel pretty good about Bobby Wagner being the guy to replace him. And again, on the other side, you've got Nakobe Dean. So I feel pretty good about that there. But that's all I've got for you right now, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, I will be dropping the cornerback and safety shows later today. But if you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe to the channel, but let me hear your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear who is your favorite, top 3, top 5, whatever is on your mind. Let me hear it down below, but I'll be back later. Hope to hear your thoughts on the secondary, but have yourselves a great rest of your day, a great rest of your weekend. And until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me. Go Birds!